Welcome YouTube. This is my channel, American Smoke, where we come and talk about current events and politics, and, pretty much whatever is on my mind while we're smoking either pipe or cigar, your choice. So, today is 6/29/19. We are a few days away from 4th of July. So, there's a lot going on in the news, politically speaking and whatnot. The Democratic debate was just a few nights ago. Well, a few nights ago and a few nights ago. 20 candidates took the stage to try to outdo each other in the quest to outdo Trump. So, a lot of things happened. So most of the Democratic candidates want free healthcare. I say free healthcare because, of course, anybody that pays taxes will be paying way more taxes to get this so-called free healthcare. So, what else stuck out to me? During the debates, all the front runners did really bad. Joe Biden didn't do horrible, but he had trouble defending himself against some stuff he should have saw coming. With being painted as a racist and stuff. I mean, he's been doing this his whole life, painting other people as racists or bigots and making himself look better. And he doesn't think his opponent, 20 out of 20 people are going to use this tactic against him? Come on, Joe. You've said enough stuff in the past that it can come back to bite you. Alright, Bernie Sanders. He has basically the same campaign he ran in 2016. Whereas, he wants free college, free healthcare. Bernie's a socialist. Socialist Bernie. We all know this. But we have a completely different economy than we did in 2016. Unemployment is the lowest rate it's been, like 50 years? So, and minorities, all the minorities have jobs. The only thing I can think of is in the Midwest, farmers are having trouble getting crops in the ground this year. So, but that's the weather. You can't blame that on anything but the weather, really. Oh, yeah, climate change is a big issue on that side, so. So, we'll see how those arguments pan out. Alright. But yeah, there's a huge difference in the economy of 2016 and the economy of 2020. So, we'll see how that actually plays out. You go, Bernie. Kamala Harris actually did pretty well, except for she looked kind of rehearsed. Now, the first night, the moderators, I noticed, were tossing time to Elizabeth Warren. And she didn't do bad, but she didn't do great either. Beto. Yeah. You guys see Beto in the first debate? So somebody comes at him, and he visibly looks down and away. That's the moment he lost the debate. And he was, what, like 10 minutes into it? You know, we're 10 minutes into the debate, and you are visibly showing signs of giving up to this other person. It's not a good look. Let's see, did anything else happen that first night? Oh yeah, speaking Spanish. I think that's awesome. Pandering to people that can't vote. And yeah, let's not joke, that's what it is. And it was like, the impression I got, and I'm not, I can speak a few words in Spanish, that's about it. And I'm not good with languages. And it looked like they were saying, look at me, I can speak Spanish. And it's like, yeah, we were already looking at you. And this is, I don't think it didn't come off well. If it came off well, they probably would have done something similar the next night. And I didn't see anybody do it. Unless I was in the bathroom. They didn't talk about it on the news at all. Drinking my coffee. From Black Rifle Coffee. Yeah, it's good stuff. If you want to sponsor the show one day, let me know. I'll probably be drinking it every time I'm recording. Unless I'm recording tonight. Alright. What else happened in the news recently that I want to talk about? The Trump. The joke that Trump just made, I don't see what the big deal is, honestly. So from what I gather, he's standing with Putin, the president of Russia, or whatever they call their leader nowadays. And a reporter asks about Russian interference. If he's going to tell... If I remember right, it was something like, are you going to tell the Russian government not to interfere in the election? So he turns to Putin and tells him in front of everybody to not interfere with the election. And everybody's up in arms about it. And it's like, one, what do you expect him to do? Like, Putin's a whole... Like, Putin's gonna do what he's gonna do no matter what anybody tells him. So, I don't see what... You know, what did they think he was gonna do right then? And it's like something I would have done. And that's the thing. You gotta understand that a lot of the stuff that Trump does like that, he's he's manipulating the media in an ingenious way, because he does something that most people see, as innocuous, or one of those "what do you expect him to do" moments. And the reaction is so disproportionate. And I noticed this right after the election. Like, he would say something that, yeah, probably shouldn't have said that, but it wasn't the end of our country. And other presidents have said some dumb stuff too. So, and you could actually see a pattern, and he would say something or tweet something. Actually, the tweets were the best, because he would tweet something out, and for the next, like 5 hours, they were talking about it on the news. And it's like, dude, people don't pay that much attention to Twitter. Like, you can only have so many characters to get a point across. So, don't take it that seriously. And yes, it is important in image and everything, but when you're intentionally taking it out of context of what's going on. And how many times are they going to say that, we're so close to war because of his actions, and we haven't gone to war once. He's actually pulled us out of places. And I think it's interesting. That one president can get a peace prize and proceed to bomb countries and go into places and without authorization from anybody. And that's okay. But then another president talks tough, but doesn't actually have to pull the triggers often. And actually lessons our influence, but lessens our presence abroad. But he's the warmonger. I find that interesting. Okay. So, let's move on. Illinois. I live in the state of Illinois. Politically, right now, it is completely controlled by Democrats. I'm not a Republican, but I usually vote Republican. And the reason I say I'm not a Republican is I consider myself an independent. And basically, I have a set of ideals that I try to live by. I fail sometimes, but so does everybody else. And I take those ideals, about different things. Like, politically, I have certain set of things, like I would like to happen in the state, or the federal government, or, whatever. And I don't care if there's a Democrat, Independent, Republican with those ideals, or is the closest thing I can get to those ideals. You know, that's who I'm going to vote for. I don't care if it's an R, D, I, L, P, Q, A. I don't care what's by their name, as long as if they're going to do those things, they're going to do those things. Well, here in Illinois, we have a Democratic Party that they like to spend money. And I don't think government should spend this much money. Excuse me while I drink my coffee. Now, they're trying to spend money for like programs and stuff, which is fine if the state has money, which Illinois does not. State is completely broke, and it's been a long downhill slide, and it's been Republicans and Democrats in the state house. And right now, lately it's been Democrats control everything, and Republicans are just like, well, that's the way it's gonna be. They're in control, so they get pretty much what they want. I'll fight back on a few things, and that's about it. Illinois Republicans need to get the stick out of their butt and fight. Get on the news. Make the case for less government. You know, actually make the case. Don't go, well, we're gonna lower your taxes. So we're gonna talk about taxes here in a minute, but the political situation here in Illinois is Democrats control everything and Republicans don't seem to care. They're like, well, we'll get them on the next election. No, man. You're on the floor of the, you know. Yeah, they don't seem to care. They really don't about all this stuff. So, in the news, you guys might have heard about the state budget crisis. Well, not the budget crisis, but the pension crisis in the state of Illinois, where they didn't actually put the money away that they were supposed to put away, and they inflated the rate of growth in the pension plan. So the pensions they promised, they don't have the cash. Because they didn't have anybody in the back room going, this is how much it's going to cost, when they actually wrote the pension plan. So, and they spent the money on other stuff, you know, the state's money. So, and road, you know, the money that was supposed to go towards roads and stuff actually went towards other stuff. I don't know where it went, but it didn't go to, it didn't go to the roads. So now that the last, I don't know, decade, 2 decades, they've been spending the money that was supposed to go to this stuff that actually needs to get done because people have to get to work. People are driving through the state spending money. And, you know, people are going places. And we've been taxed. We already have one of the highest tax burdens in the country, and a lot of it's property taxes. The other taxes, I'm not sure how they stack up against everything else, but you know, all the other states. But it's expensive. You know, everything is taxed. Everything is a tax. And just about every tax is going up. And it's actually kind of appropriate to talk about this for the 4th of July, I think. So, just about every tax in Illinois is going up. They doubled the gas tax. So it's now 38 cents a gallon. Yeah, 38 cents a gallon. Starting